stop reading. At least until you've had your coffee.
Why, sorry, dear. Not being very polite, am I? This article on Panama caught my eye. There's some darned interesting photographs, too. Now I can understand why Dave's letter was so enthusiastic. Isn't it odd, Sylvia, that with all my traveling, I've never been to Panama before?
Here, drink your coffee.
All right. Thanks, Sylvia. Delicious. Just right.
Well, it should be. I made it just as you like it, with 1 sugar.
How well you know me, dear.
Yes. At least, I ought to. You know, I'm afraid you'll never settle down, dear.
Well, why? What makes you think so?
Oh, it's not because you're always running off to the ends of the earth, but rather because each time you go, you're more enthusiastic than ever. This trip you're taking to the canal zone tomorrow.
You'll be at the pier to see me off, won't you?
I'm nothing if not constant, Jim. I'll be there.
Good girl, Sylvia. You mustn't brood over me and my wanderlust. It's family tradition, you see. Inheritance. I was born with it.
Yes, I believe you were. And with both hands full of round-trip tickets. Well, what about Dave's letter? You said you'd read it to me.
Dear, I'd forgotten.
I suppose I should be very angry with Dave for taking you away. But I can't. He's such a lovable wretch.
Oh, you think so, do you? Balboa Heights, Canal Zone, September 3rd. Dear Jim, your last letter asked for my thoughts about this tropical land, which I hope you can find as interesting as I do. So here goes. The story of Panama is a romantic story of failure and achievement. Its early chapters marred by plunder, piracy, and international perfidy. Its latest chapters made glorious by the accomplishment of the world's most stupendous work of engineering, the Panama Canal. When Uncle Sam sent his engineers to Panama, he sent them equipped with knowledge, facilities, and an undefeatable determination. And with these tools, they took mountains apart, blasted rivers, and made a new waterway from Atlantic to Pacific. But the canal idea, you know, wasn't new when our Army engineers undertook the project, nor when the French began their ill-fated attempt some 50 years ago. Instead, it was a lieutenant to Cortez who in the year 1529 first mentioned the possibility of a canal. Almost 4 centuries were to elapse, however, before that prophetic dream became a reality in which a then undreamed of power, electricity, was to be a tremendous factor. A factor not only in construction, but in the operation of this great waterway. Its unseen strength opens and closes ponderous lock gates with perfect ease. Its untiring force manipulates valves and pumps to fill or empty the world's largest lock chambers. Since ships are not permitted to pass through a lock under their own power, electric towing locomotives pull them skillfully along. Many of these ships today are themselves electrically propelled. Suppose you were to find yourself on a terrace of the Hotel Washington in Calan, gazing off through waving palms toward the blue Caribbean. When work was started on the Panama Railway back in 1850, it was the same old Caribbean and just as blue. But you'd hardly believe that the whole of Calan was then a dense, uninhabitable swamp. Today, Calan and Cristobal, companion towns in the Canal Zone, are modern, tropical cities of shaded streets, beautiful public buildings, clubs, and ocean promenades. Here, all the world passes in review, and the bustle of commerce mingles curiously with the natural languor of a warm, sunny land.
Oh, don't stop. It sounds grand.
Calan and Cristobal are mere youngsters compared with the city of Panama, capital of the Republic. whose founding dates back to 1673. Panama is reminiscent. It has an air about it. Roaming its streets, one senses a certain old-world mellowness, holding itself withdrawn and aloof from the 20th century. A rose dropped from a balcony, a tinkle of laughter from a hidden patio, that which has been and that which is, the old and the new. Facing the Parc de la Independencia, the old cathedral raises its venerable head to brood over the dark and romantic past. Across the park, the new municipal palace and post office stand in youthful vigor and brilliance, while a block away the golden altar of San Jose brings to mind dim stories of pirates and plunder. Among the ruins of the Santo Domingo Church, the famous flat arch still stands. Legend has it that this unique structure fell twice in construction, but was upheld the third time by divine power. Later engineering had its failures too. What might canal history have been had not mosquito-carried disease defeated the French canal builders? In the Plaza de Francia on Panama Bay, France has erected a well-deserved monument to the courage of her unfortunate engineers. Least susceptible of all, perhaps, to the modernizing influence are the Panamanian natives, the Indians, particularly the San Blas tribe. They keep themselves quite apart in their villages on the mainland and on the offshore islands. A picturesque crowd, stolidly Mongolian in appearance and dressed to kill, if dressed at all. One encounters them at their boats along the waterfront in Panama, selling their fish and chickens and vegetables. Panama, Jim, is a place of vivid contrasts. Take the electric lock control system for the canal, designed and built by General Electric. It is an example of electrical engineering perfection, a perfection so complete that it's impossible for a lock operator to make a mistake that would endanger either the locks themselves or the costly ships and cargoes passing through. Then go out to Old Panama. And Jim, don't miss the ruins of Old Panama, which you know was an up-and-coming town of some 5,000 people when the Pilgrims brought fame to our Plymouth Rock. Along about 1671, however, Sir Henry Morgan and his buccaneers attacked the city, defeated a superior Spanish force, and laid Old Panama in ruins. But time and nature have done their work well, and in the misty charm that surrounds each crumbled wall and tower, there seems to be a faint, almost mystic whisper of those wild old days. In such surroundings, one finds it difficult to realize that a few miles away, man has cut apart the two Americas, has broken the barrier that for centuries had been an insurmountable obstacle to ocean transportation. You'll get a kick out of it, Jim. I'll be at the pier when you arrive. Hasta mañana, old sock. Dave.
Oh, it sounds fascinating.
Yes, it must be.
I envy you your trip.
By the way, there's a postscript here. Well, this wouldn't interest you.
Why not?
Well, it's a bit personal. But if you like, read it yourself.
P.S. Why don't you marry that swell girl of yours and bring her with you? Oh, Jim.
Well?
Well?
You know, my family has another tradition, too. They're always married at sea.
Then we mustn't shatter that family tradition, must we, dear?